here I am in front of you to deliver a lecture on group theory of abstract algebra. In previous lecture we had discussed some elementary properties of group. Now here we are going to discuss a new topic, that is power of an element of a group. How power of an element is defined in a group. Firstly, we take group with binary operation multiplication. If A belongs to G, then A multiplied by A belongs to G. Clearly, by closure property, if we multiply two elements of the group, we get the element of the group. So A into A belongs to G. And we can write A into A is equal to A square. That means if A belongs to G, then A square must belong to G according to the closure property when there is operation of multiplication as binary operation in the group. Similarly, you can write A into A belongs to G. Why? Because this element belongs to G. This is the element of G. If you multiply two elements of G, it must belong to G according to the closure property. So, you can write A into A, that is A cube. It must also belong to the group. Now again, you can continue in this way. A's power n is equal to A into so on. A n times. You have multiplied A n times. You can write A raised to the power n here. Similarly, as A is the element of the group, so A inverse is also element of the group. So if we multiply A inverse n times, what will become? A inverse into A inverse n times, that is A's power minus n. This element also belongs to group Y according to the closure property of the group. Now, this was the concept under multiplication operation. If we take the operation of addition, then power of an element will get a different form. Now let's see how. If operation is addition, then A plus A is equal to 2A. This will belong to G. Why? A is element of the group. If we add two elements, if we operate two elements of the group, then answer should be the element of the group. So 2A belongs to G. Now similarly, if we add A plus A n times, then we get NA. So if the operation is of addition, instead of writing power here, you are writing it here. This is the difference. Now come to a new concept, order of an element. Very, very useful concept in group theory. You must understand the order of an element to understand further concepts, further theorems of the group theory. Now what is order of an element? Let A belongs to G be any element. We have taken any element of the group. If there exists a positive integer n such that A raised to the power n is equal to E, we have some positive integer n which satisfies this property. Then A is said to have finite order. We shall say A is of finite order and smallest such positive integer n with this property such that A raised to the power n is equal to E is called order of A. If we have more than one positive integers satisfying this property, then the smallest positive integer among them will play the role of the order of an element. For example, if A raised to the power 2 is identity, A raised to the power 6 is identity, because 2 is smaller than 6, then 2 will be the order of the element. The smallest element which satisfy, the smallest positive integer which satisfy this property will be the order of the element. Now example, in the group we have taken here the group Z6. Operation is addition modulo 6. We have written addition modulo 6. It's not simple addition. What we have to do? What do you mean by addition modulo 6? After adding, you will divide the result by 6 and your answer will be the remainder. Your answer will be the remainder. We will check that what is the order of 0, what is the order of 1, what is the order of 2, or whether there exists order of all elements or not. Let's start with 0. How many times I have to add 0? Why I am adding 0? To check the order, because here operation is of addition. So we don't have to multiply the elements, we have to add them. So how many times I have to add 0? There is no need to add 0 plus 0 plus 0, 0 is 0. That means order is 1. Now how many times I have to add 1 to get 0? I have to add 1 to get 0 6 times. Why? Because if I add 2 times, 1 plus 1 is 2, modulo 6, remainder will be, on dividing 6, remainder will be 2. That is not 0. It is 3 on dividing with 6, remainder is 3. This is 4 on dividing with 6, remainder is 4. And similarly so on. When we add 1 6 times, we get the answer 6. And on dividing with 6, the remainder is 0. And as I have told you, in addition modulo 6, what is the answer? Answer is your remainder. Right? Answer is your remainder. So when we add 1 6 times, we get the answer 0. That is identity. So that means, what is the order of 1? Order of 1 is 6. Because there is no other number less than 6 which will satisfy this property. Now, for checking here, you will not write a is power n is equal to e. You have to write n a is equal to e. Because here a is power n is replaced by n a. Now again, to find the order of 2, what will you do? You will check how many times, minimum, how many times I have to add 2 to get the answer 0. If you add 2 plus 2, it is 4, modulo 6, answer will be 4. If you add 3 times, it will become 6, modulo 6, answer is 0. That means order of 2 is 3. Similarly, you can check order of another elements also. Here is order of 4 is equal to 3. How? Because 4 plus 4 is 8, modulo 6, answer will be 2, remainder will be 2. Answer will not be 0. If you add 4 3 times, 4 plus 4 plus 4, it will be 12, modulo 6, answer will be 0 because remainder is 0. That's why order of 4 is equal to 3. In this way, you can find the order of elements. Here we are adding because binary operation is addition. If there were multiplication, then we have to check how many times I have to multiply to get the answer identity. Now, let's come to a theorem. In a finite group, the order of every element exists. We will show that if the group is finite, then order of every element exists. Let G be a finite group of order n. We have taken G is a finite group which is given to us in the statement. That group is finite. Let G be a finite group of order n. Let A belongs to G be any element. We have taken any arbitrary element of G. Now we have to show that order of this element exists. We have to prove order of every element exists. We have taken any arbitrary element. If its order exists, then order of every element exists. Right? So let A belongs to G be any element. By closure property, as we have studied here, if A belongs to G, then A square belongs to G, A cube belongs to G, and so on. So by closure property, A square, A cube, and so on, this collection of powers of A are elements of G. All these are elements of G. But what we are given? We are given that group is finite, but this collection is infinite. So this is not possible. It will become correct if some of these elements, infinite elements, match with each other. That means all the elements cannot be distinct, because if all the elements are distinct of this collection, then the group's order will not be finite. The group will not remain finite. It will become infinite. So, but G is finite, all the elements of collection can't be distinct. That means some of them will match with each other. Let A a raised to the power I is equal to a raised to the power j for some I and j positive integers. I is not equal to j. Why? Because we are taking two distinct elements as equal. For example, a square matches with actually a raised to the power 5 like this. Now, if we are writing a raised to the power I is equal to a raised to the power j, one of the I and j will be greater and one will be smaller. So let's take I is greater than j. You can take j is greater than I. This will be the same. Now we are taking I is greater than j. Say. Now a raised to the power j belongs to g. This is the element of group, and we know that every element of the group is invertible. Inverse of every element exists. So inverse of this element also exists. That means a minus j belongs to g. This implies a raised to the power I into a raised to the power minus j is equal to, substitute the value of a the I. A the I is equal to a the j. Now this is a the j into a the minus j. On collecting the powers, you get a raised to the power 0. That is equal to identity. So a raised to the power I into a the minus j, that is a the I minus j, that is equal to a raised to the power positive integer. Why I minus j is positive? Because I is greater than j. If I is greater than j, I minus j will be greater than 0. This is a positive integer. So a raised to the power positive integer is equal to identity. We have got this. And there can be more than one positive integer which satisfy this condition. So let n be the smallest such positive integer, and we know that smallest such positive integer which satisfies this property becomes the order of the element. So if we have taken m be the smallest such positive integer such that a the m is equal to e, then order of a will be equal to that smallest number, that is m. So order of a is equal to m. Here we have taken a, b, any element of the group. A is arbitrary element of the group, and we have arrived where that order of a exists and order of a is equal to m. So if we take any other element of the group, then its order will also exist. That means what we have proved? We have proved that in a finite group, the order of every element exists. Thank you.